20, 30 years ago, if we saw an anterior cruciate ligament rupture in a teenager in our unit, I mean, all the knee doctors would have got together and looked at it.
Yeah.
Now we don't even blink an eyelid about it because all of our teenagers are so much bigger, stronger. I mean, somebody told me that at the national under 15 or under 16 rugby final last week, one of the props was 21 stone. I mean, they're just huge now.
Under 16?
Yeah, under 16, 21 stone. And mobile.
What I mean, the actual, I don't know, the average height of a child or an adult hasn't changed vastly. So what are they doing? They're just training them harder to build more muscle at an early stage, putting them through.
I mean, they're in the gyms much earlier. I tell the story in my book about one of my friends who I go skiing with, and he played for Wales. He was a prop forward. And he played with Gareth Edwards and Barry John, and he was a gym teacher. And I said, well, how often did you train? Well, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And yes. I said, but you must have gone to the gym. He said, I never lifted a weight in my life.
This was in the day when you get £5 in your boot at the end of the match.
That's right, and of course,
match,
coaches were banned. It was thought to be, rugby was an amateur game, and before as it was, Five Nations game, you were not allowed to meet up until Thursday lunchtime before the game on a Sunday. And he used to tell the story, they used to run through some penalty moves, do some line outs, and then play golf on Friday and turn up at Cardiff Arms Park on Saturday to play against France. That was how it was.
It's amazing how you actually got some quite good rugby out of them in the end.
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the things I do feel, Stephen, is in my book is I really question us, because essentially, as I said, I qualified in 1980. And there was no care for the athlete at any level. It was a physiotherapist who might have done a weekend course, certainly not qualified. It was a local GP who would turn up on voluntary. And now here we are spending millions at Manchester City and Liverpool on the backroom staff. And yet the injuries are greater than ever. Yeah.
Interestingly, I remember talking to a colleague a few years ago, and I'm talking relatively few, so 10 years ago, who worked with, I can't remember if it was Spurs or Arsenal, one of the top football clubs in London. And he was saying then that the medical care was still rubbish. Almost as though it was of the whim of the club manager rather than the benefit of the patients.
It was. And I mean, I tell the story. I mean, I was very proud to look after Northampton Saints from 96, the year it went professional, till 2013. Right. And I was pitch side. I still had to pay. It was purely voluntary. I had to pay for my season ticket.
And no car parking.
To get in the ground, and no car park pass. So if I needed to transport somebody to casualty, one of the players, I wasn't even in the car park. I had to kind of walk out, find my car in the street and put the player in the car. And that was only up to 10, 12 years ago.